Today I want to briefly try to compare and contrast these two terms that are used mainly in Christian culture: preach and teach. The question is, are they similar or are they different? Well, my answer is they are slightly similar, and there's also slight differences. And I'm going to explain what I mean by, I'm going to explain to you guys the differences that I've just observed and then the similarities. Both preaching and teaching have to do with communication. Communication to an intended audience. We have to keep audience in mind because the audience will determine which means of communication the speaker is going to implement. When it comes to an unbeliever, the audience consists of unbelievers, the best means to reach to them is through preaching. When it comes to teaching, the suitable audience for that is believers. Yes, you can preach, you can teach to both unbelievers and believers, but what I have observed when it comes to these two terms, and they're sometimes used interchangeably, but I am trying to look at the audience. Preaching is suitable for unbelievers. Teaching is suitable for believers. But now let me try to explain what these two terms mean. Again, what makes them similar is both of them are communication. Preaching is very specific. Preaching in a sense that is specific, and teaching is general. Preaching is specific in a sense that you know who you're going to talk about. You know what you're going to talk about. For instance, usually when the Bible says we should preach Jesus, preach the cross, you preach about the resurrection of Jesus Christ to unbelievers. You preach, you say things that will draw the attention of unbelievers unto Jesus Christ, the things that Jesus Christ has done for them. Whereas believers already know what Jesus Christ has done for them. Now you are teaching them how to become like Jesus. You preach to unbelievers, trying to get them to come to Jesus. That's what preaching is, trying to get the audience to Jesus. Teaching is trying to make the audience to become like Jesus. It's a process. In order for you to become like Jesus, you have to come to Jesus. You have to come to Jesus. So when you come to Jesus now, you are being taught how to become like Jesus. But there's no way you can be taught how to become like Jesus if you don't come to Jesus. And the means of which people can come to Jesus is through preaching. And the means in which people can become like Jesus is through teaching doctrines. And the Bible is both good for preaching and for teaching. Yes, so you can use the Bible definitely for both preaching and for teaching. Sometimes some believers, they need to be preached to. Sometimes believers need to be taught. It can go both ways. But I'm just trying to give you guys a brief distinction about these two terms that are used interchangeably